What's going on, y'all? So I wanted to try something a little different. I wish I would have did this a little earlier, but it may be able to reach somebody and help somebody real quick, maybe a couple hours before game time. So, one thing's for sure. I wanted to talk about a couple players that will have fantasy, relevance tonight. Whether it's daily fantasy or because one thing's for sure now, y'all. It's been a couple years though, but I'm back in my daily fantasy now. So, yes. So one thing's for sure is I'm playing tonight in the daily fantasy. You know how that goes, right? To give y'all advice, I got them kickers in there, both kickers actually. So let me so look. So of course, I believe the kickers, right? So look, man, the Colts have a good defense. They haven't been playing up to par, but they have a good defense, and it will catch steam as you go along. So if you have the Colts defense, don't give up on them because they still score points, but they are still a good defense. And they will start playing. They will start gelling, and they will start being in dominance. Because one thing's for sure is I drafted a second defense toward the end is because to have for trade bait because I peeped that there was a few people that was lacking on defense, and I knew they was gonna drop them. So I knew that they was gonna need a defense because I had the Cowboys defense and the Colts defense. So I believe in the Colts defense. I would trade the Cowboys defense for a good player. That's just being real because if anything, I could stream the defense weekly, and the Colts defense is going to pick it up. I'm willing to bet the house on that. That's why I say I'm willing to trade away the Cowboys defense for a good player. But so a couple of the moves that I had made in the draft was for trade bait, which I will be executing pretty soon. So with that being the case, right? So let's look at Melvin Gordon for the Broncos. Melvin Gordon, I will play him. I wouldn't say that he'll get 100 yards rushing, but he can definitely potentially have 100 yards in totality. One thing, especially in PPR, they will use him out the backfield. He's the main guy now, so he's going to get his carries. He's going to split a little bit with Boone, but it ain't going to be to the extent as it was with Javonte Williams because, of course, Boone ain't Javonte Williams. I believe they picked up Latavius. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they picked up Latavius Murray. If I'm not mistaken, but don't quote me on that. I have to go back and look. But either way, he'll be sharing carries, but the majority of the carries, you can start Melvin Gordon confidently week in. So PPR will be a nice thing. Will Melvin Gordon punch one in? It's a high possibility that he'll punch one in. So regardless, though, if he punch one in or not, I believe he'll give you enough value where he'll be playable tonight. Now, Russell Wilson, right? So look, man, we ain't gonna act like that passing game hasn't been underperforming. We ain't gonna act like Russell Wilson has been acting like himself. One thing's for sure, what I've been seeing is Russ ain't been acting like Russ. Russ ain't been using them legs, He kind of suffering from the Dak Prescott syndrome, scared to lose his legs, but got the legs, but got the legs, So I don't know if it's because he got paid and he want to keep getting paid. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is though. But if you can get Russ back to being the same old Russ, man, from Seattle, man, that's gonna pick up the passing game. So now, would I start Russ tonight? If you have a better option, I would start him because that Colts defense is good, and it's just a matter of time before they start picking him up. And one thing's for sure, man, that when that secondary, the Colts gonna be able to play. They got some good secondary out there, so they'll be able to. And they have, I believe, they're top 5 in passing defense. As far as going against wide receivers, so that'll be something to keep an eye out on, right? So, Judy, let's look at Judy. Will Russell Wilson score a TD? Yes. Yes. Yes, he'll throw one in, maybe to a tight end, maybe one of the wide receivers. But if you have the wide receivers, be kind of wary of the Colts defense. Now, if the Colts playing like the same that they be playing, then I see it more Cortland Sutton, So, in one of my leagues, I have, I'm kind of doing. I got Cortland Sutton in it, but one of my alternatives is DJ Moore. And seeing how DJ Moore, his production has been with Baker Mayfield, I'm kind of waiting on Sam Darnold to get back in the picture so we can get the same DJ Moore. But I would take Cortland Sutton over that. That's just in one of my leagues, right? I got a good wide receiver base though, but I would take, Sutton, because I would bank on, Sutton at least scoring one. He may not get much yardage wise, but I believe he should be able to, kind of one of them 50 yards in a TD type game, So they will be acting kind of stingy tonight, but weapons indeed. If you a good receiver, you need to show up regardless, though. You can't be getting no 2 catches for 20 yards talking about you one of the best receivers, though. But with in Russ, if in Russ you trust, then go ahead and start one of them wide receivers. If you had to start between Judy or Sutton, PPR or standard, I'm going Sutton, because Judy hasn't shown that he's reliable yet. He was supposed to go crazy against Oakland. He didn't go crazy. He did better, but he was supposed to go, well, not Oakland, Las Vegas. He was supposed to go crazy against Vegas, and he didn't go crazy against Vegas. So that was very alarming, but, will Judy bounce back? I believe in Judy. I believe Judy will bounce back. It's a strange fantasy a start to the season. A lot of guys, man, who you'll be banking on be able to do their thing is not doing their thing. It seemed like a lot of the lower tier guys is the ones that's performing, but and they can't say that, it's not the preseason, because, man, we a month in already, man. It's time to pick it up. You know what I'm saying? So you can't blame it on that. So, it's a very odd start of the fantasy season, but I believe things will start getting into its course. Nature will take its course, and I believe the guys that we have trusted that was going to give us production will start giving us production very, very soon. So don't give up, y'all. Don't give up on certain individuals. If you have questions about certain individuals, take, because one thing's for sure, I have a couple individuals that's also having a slow start, but I understand why. Whether it be a injury to the quarterback, and when they come back, they're gonna pick it up. So it just depends on what kind of player do you want to be patient with. So you got to know when to be patient with a player, and when it's like it just ain't gonna work, and you need to get the most out of it. And you got to know when to sell a person high, and when to wait on the value, or you just got to get rid of them. Just sometimes you got to have a sacrificial lamb. But I got my eyebrow raised up on that Colts defense tonight, because I don't know which one going to show up tonight. But if those same old been showing up, then you should have something good from Sutton, right? But either way, I think Russ will play a pretty solid game, though. But, question marks against the wide receivers for the Broncos. If you have better options, choose them better options, right? So let's go to the Colts, right? The Colts offense, going against the banged up Broncos defense. Randy Gregory's out, Yeah, they got a good corner in Surtain, but will Surtain cancel out Pittman? That's a high possibility. But one thing's for sure, we know that Matt Ryan is probably going to dump it down to Nyheim Hines. So if he's in PPR, I definitely will play Nyheim Hines tonight, maybe in a flex role. If you need that flex spot spill, go ahead and go with Nyheim Hines on that one. So I believe that the Falcons will be able to get some offense going, just because of the way that the Broncos defense have been playing. They'll be able to probably most likely establish this run some. Oakland did it with, the Denver Broncos, and I believe that, the same success will be had with the Indianapolis Colts. I believe Matt Ryan will have a decent game himself, Actually, I'm probably getting ready to swap out the quarterbacks now that I really think about it. I'm just going to take that risk, man, and go Matt Ryan over Russell Wilson tonight, man, just because of the easier matchup, with the defense and with the injuries, So I'm about to go that route, So I'm glad that I'm making this video, because it got me thinking about what I need to do. But yeah, man, so Pittman, it's a possibility Pittman getting canceled out. Nyheim Hines is a go. If you had to choose a defense and you're streaming, I'm going ahead and I'm going with the Colts defense over the Broncos defense, because the Broncos defense are going to be in a struggle right now. They got to wait till they get their guys back. So Russell Wilson gonna have to play amazing. So he gonna have to start making that money that they paid him to. Or they gonna, it's not gonna look too good. But I believe in the Broncos, man, when they get it all together, man. Just a lot of the teams that you had high expectations for, it's kind of struggling, but it is what it is, man. I just believe that Nate, like I said, nature will take its course and everything will get back to the way it is. Then are my couple little players, for the main players, you could say if you was feeling real, real risky tonight, I would go Jackson for the Colts, because, like I told y'all in my last video, the running back, one thing's for sure is regardless if Nyheim Hines is the man or not, they are not going to give him a full workload to really tire him out because that's not the running back that he is. And so one thing's for sure is the Colts have proven no matter who they have in the backfield that's hurt, Nyheim Hines would not be the bell cow. He will get he will get some touches though, but he won't be the bell cow. So if you were looking for maybe a bell cow, if he was looking to take a risk tonight and you just wanted to go all in, go with Jackson tonight. Jackson to be the one because Jackson is, as far as body-wise, is equipped. You don't know nothing about him. He's the unknown, though. He's the best definition of unknown, because you don't know, whoa, Jackson, what? He only got a couple carries. That's it. We don't know about him, So I don't believe he got no carries last week or the week before that. So, you definitely dealing with the unknown with that. But if you wanted to swing for the fences and just go big, go hard, or go home, I say go ahead and put Jackson in your daily fantasy lineups. I wouldn't say put him in your fantasy lineups because you playing with fire on that one. You really see something though. But one thing's for sure, if you wanted to swing for the fences and try to do something different, go with Jackson tonight. So, I'm thinking about doing the same thing. I don't know. I'm just taking risks, man. How you gonna do anything in life and do anything big in life if you scared to take risks? So yeah, man, they're my food players, man, that, as far as fantasy wise and what I'm dealing with, whether it's in my daily fantasy or on my regular fantasy league, I didn't have the opportunity to pick up Nyheim Hines a couple weeks ago. People picked him up pretty early, a couple weeks ago, because sometimes, man, I just play it by ear. And, sometimes, if I see a player that's needing to be I'll go ahead and get him early. But if not, nah, So, yeah, man, that's my little fantasy thing for tonight's game, man. I hope y'all win a whole bunch of money. If I helped y'all win a whole bunch of money, please put in the comments so we can celebrate together, man. But y'all like, comment, and subscribe, man. We out.